soon. Without a doubt.
Heidi ho, and what do you know, guys? Welcome back to the All Funk No Bunk podcast. Sorry we haven't been here in a while. I know it's been kind of like, we didn't post for like, what, a week or something like that?
Yeah, it's been at least a week.
We missed a week.
Posted,
we had kind of not a current episode before that. But Nick, what have you been up to, man?
Well, you know, we had a busy weekend. I had my family at the house, and they drove up, 6 hours from out of town to come see us and everything. So I want to make sure I maximize my time with them while they were here. Got to see my dad and my mom and everything, so that was nice.
That's cool. They doing good?
And they're doing good, like in life or whatever. Just my dad's been having some back issues and stuff, but other than that, everything's gravy. You know what I mean? He's just in a little bit of pain, but hopefully everything will go gravy with that, and we'll be fucking, you know what I mean? It'll all be good, dude.
Gravy train. I'm glad you got to spend some time with your family. We've both been kind of running around like crazy just through all of COVID,
busy.
But
busy times.
I think and then for me, I took kind of last weekend to organize some protests down here at the Capitol, and it was super interesting. Definitely, we had like 10 people out here for Black Lives Matter and like 70 Police Lives Matter people out here, which we'll touch on that subject in a little bit, but But yeah, that's why you're seeing us out and about too. We are currently at the Capitol right now in front of the State Senate building, and we'll be organizing protests down here as much as we possibly can, and shooting our podcast out here as much as we possibly can too.
Try to get some more exposure out here, get some more people out here, show some more support,
Yeah, trying to make it a big deal out here because, like I said, when you come out and support something that's so obviously in the right direction for society, and then you get counter protests to that of
just trying to drag it all back down,
Just fuck, man. And a lot of those people try to tell me like we're on the same side, we're out here for the same thing, And originally they told me they were out here for a vigil for the fallen police officers down in Vegas that had died, which totally understandable, super cool. I respect that 110%. But the first 5 minutes they were here, 2 or 3 of them wound up in my face yelling at me asking, well, how have black people ever been treated unfairly? And it's like, okay, fuck it.
It's like, what? How can you be so... Well, I'm just curious how you can be so out of touch with reality.
Like, where do I start with that?
Yeah, there's so much that I don't even know how you could be blind to how much there is,
Yeah. It was
absolutely insane.
It's the hardest part about a lot of this for me is that a lot of people just don't seem to... They just don't get it. Like, there's almost no way to get people that don't understand to understand. Like, there's a level of...
There's only one way. And everyone gets mad when they do it. So there's only one way, in my opinion, to show them how it feels to be treated unfairly like that. And it's to riot and burn their small businesses down. But then everyone gets mad. They're like innocent people. And I'm like, I totally get it. Yeah, there was people that probably do support Black Lives Matter, probably do own a business downtown that got ruined, and they were an innocent party in that. And, obviously that's, the worst part of it. You know what I'm saying?
Unfortunate.
It's terrible. Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
But just in my own opinion, obviously everyone's entitled to their opinions, but in my own opinion, I think that every once in a while, those types of things are necessary 100%. In order to really spark the fire, you know what I'm saying? Get it going.
One of my favorite quotes about rights in general is that they're the voice of the unheard. Like, why are people burning their community down? No one just wants to do that. You know what I mean?
No one
like,
does
let's
it for
think about
fun.
that.
No one did it because one day they woke up and they're like, you know what? I'm bored. I don't got a job. I got nothing to do today. It's a Friday. I'm fucking bored. You know what?
Down.
Fuck it. Let's just go burn down the businesses. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
A white people thing.
Terrible, dude. Absolutely terrible. So, it's hard. Absolutely hard to try to, convince people that, rioting or, stuff like that is actually sometimes a positive thing because it's so negative in the moment. You know what I mean? Right. It is such sometimes a violent and negative act.
Right.
But what comes from it is sometimes a very positive, good thing.
And it's always usually in response to a violent, negative act.
Yeah, exactly. Like once again, it's not just for fun.
It's
no one woke up and did it,
100%.
Just for a good time.
And I love it when people tell me that rights don't change anything. And I even actually had someone kind of argue with me about even just the protests in general not really changing anything. But when you look at it just from those things, like obviously some people are talking to lawmakers and things like that. But for the most part, those riots got the Minneapolis laws changed very swiftly, and they're reforming their whole police department. You know, it's hard to argue with results that when the city hasn't gotten any results on that type.
Oh yeah, and I saw an awesome thing again online where they were saying about how for the 6 days after we assassinated Martin Luther King Jr., you know what I'm saying? There was 6 days of riots after that in the streets of several cities, and because of that, within 6 days, they were already changing, and they put in the Civil Rights Act was like the day that it, you know what I mean?
How that
6 days after he was assassinated.
6 days after he was assassinated, you said?
6 days. No, they put that in place 6 days after he was assassinated because of the riots. He was assassinated. There was 6 days of burning buildings and people dying. And then that's when they decided that we needed to set this in place.
Okay, this might be a fucking problem.
Maybe we need to do something about this.
It's just so. I mean, even those examples are just ridiculous to me now. Like, one of my favorite signs that I saw was, I'm 66. I've been protesting this for like 60 years. Why the fuck am I still out here? Or something like
seriously.
that. Love that sign because it's fucking so true. Like, the fact that this is still an issue is beyond ridiculous.
Oh yeah, I saw another post that was like, this is, and I feel terrible because I forget her name. I feel super bad. I feel like I should know that. But there was the first ever black student to go into a segregated white school to attend, and she's only like 65 now or something like that.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? It was like 68 or 65 or something. That's insane to me.
Like, when you think about our world today, you'd think that was just so long ago. Like, you would hope.
As people,
you would hope.
Yeah, and it's people, you know, our age that weren't around for those things. You know what I'm saying? We're not 80 years old. And we're not 80 years old, and we weren't around for those things. So it seems like it was so long ago to us. But in reality, we all need to realize that that was not very long ago. Most of our parents were almost here for that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Or pretty much just born right after.
Yeah.
If not, you know.
Yeah, I mean, my parents were born a couple years after all that. Literally like 2 or 3 years after that.
I think the same with mine, about the same 2 or 3 years after all of that started, too. It's just one of those things that I feel like people don't really understand some of the. Oh, you know what? Actually, you posted this thing that I love, and it is my favorite, like, funny thing to come out of all of this, and that's the New York City cops.
Oh yeah, him complaining about how they're treated like thugs and
like
stuff,
dogs
and treated like thugs and dogs.
You are thugs and
dogs,
and
that not all
whatever.
cops are bad or whatever. And then it's Always Sunny. It's the gang. They're all, oh, did somebody get profiled because they fit the description? Oh, fucking love that.
It's true. And like, look, don't get me wrong. Like, honestly, I'm all for good cops, and I'm sure there are some out there. But I think that's not the point.
I know like 2 cops. I'm pretty sure that are at least from what I know are good people. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And most likely don't abuse their power.
There's obviously some out there,
but it's the fact that there's too large of a number of bad ones.
Exactly.
You know, if every year there was like one cop killing, I bet this wouldn't be an issue. But it's the fact that every year there's like hundreds of people being murdered by police that this is the issue. You know what I mean? Yeah. The mistakes happen. If it was 1 or 2, then it was probably a mistake or just one bad apple. You know what I mean? Things happen, but it's an overwhelming percentage and number of people that 100%. Need to die at the hands of police brutality.
Yeah.
It's absolutely insane.
There was this guy. It's a perfect example of this. There was a guy who started a Twitter thread to keep track of all the police brutality going on just during the riots, right? Like, just during all of these cities and all this video footage that you get on social media, TikTok. I will say TikTok and Twitter are like the best places to get real news. You know, if the media's, as someone who did news interviews last weekend, like, it's so skewed. You never know what they're going to use or say. The articles for me were labeled Police Lives Matters, and I happen to have a little section in there. Like, I mean, that says a lot about Nevada in the first place. But like, my point is that moving forward. I lost where I was going. What was I saying?
Moving forward.
No, right before that. Fuck. Alright, we're gonna have to edit that.
You lost it, bro.
I did. Oh.
No, so you got it.
Sorry. So, TikTok and Twitter have like the best feeds for it because the media is really picking and choosing the information that they use, and they're not using information that's the most drastic for whatever godforsaken reason, but this Twitter thread that this guy used, he set it up to keep track of all this stuff, and then he did it for 3 days. He said he was just going to keep it up for a bit. He didn't want to take care of it. In 3 days, he got over 300 videos of police brutality caught on tape and documented fully. Like, in 3 days, that's ridiculous. And they were current, too. It wasn't like, oh, hey, let me just compile all this stuff from,
That's
like, years
over the
ago.
past 10 years.
Exactly. It was 3 days, 300 videos of police brutality in motion and happening. Like, that right there is just an obvious sign of a problem.
I don't know. I think of all of the terrible things to go on right now, there's one thing and one thing alone that should be plenty for people to be like, this is fucking ridiculous, all of this like rioting and everything that's going on, and it's the fact that they use tear gas, which is banned as a chemical
Geneva
weapon.
Convention.
You know what I'm saying? That to me blows my fucking mind, that they can use something that is literally banned across all, you know what I mean, the entire United Nations, you know what I'm saying?
100%.
And we're just like, sure, we'll fire it on unarmed citizens. That's no big deal, right?
I mean, to be fair, they're running out of it, though, thank fucking God, is what I hear.
It's insane.
Yeah, I mean, they're just popping that shit off like fucking candy.
Oh my God, I was watching this video of like, I don't even remember what town it was now. It was, I think it was in DC. I can't remember. There's so many now. It's hard to remember which one's which.
Yeah.
But I saw this video and it was, I'm not even kidding. I'm watching this video and it was the first time I watched a video of this kind of thing where when I was watching it, I was like, holy shit, this looks like someone produced a movie about war.
Right.
It's like, it looked like an actual fucking war zone. There's like cars that are like smashed to bits and on fire in the background, and there's so much tear gas in the air that you can't see more than like 20 feet ahead of you, and then all the people are like, you see all the whole crowd moving back, and then all of a sudden a wall of fucking policemen in riot gear just come walking through the smoke, like fucking, it is so sketchy. It's like, what kind of fucking world are we living in? It's so insane to me.
And do you know what's fucked up too, is that where we live, Nevada, you'll never see that. Because of the way the area that we live is in. I'm gonna fucking say it. Nevada's racist as shit, man. There is
terrible.
It is fucked up out here. Like, if anyone wants to throw some help our way, like, fucking please, because I know there's gonna be another counter protest today of Police Lives Matter people. And if you come up
in an hour,
fucking Police Lives Matter or All Lives Matter to me, fuck you. Fuck you so much. Like, it's obviously everyone matters. I think everybody
is
understands on board
that.
with that.
Yeah, everyone
understands.
understands.
But the point is that Black lives, their house is the house on fire, not ours, not anyone else's right now. And when you look at the statistics on everything, it just proves that. I mean, Reno's police budget is 57% of the city's budget. 57 fucking percent of the budget. While as culture and recreation, I believe, I might flop these, but they're close, 6%, and then community support and outreach is like 8% or something like that.
Which is the total of what fucking we got 14%
Jesus Christ.
going to the communities that actually need help, and 57% going to the police force that uses it on things like fucking tear gas
and
to
not
launch
only,
at their fucking
uses it to
law-abiding
arrest
citizens.
those people that need help. Like,
yeah,
fuck.
seriously.
And then Reno has the highest rates of death for black people. Now, I'm sure that accounts for like per capita inflation and things like that, but for the amount of black people we have in Reno, they die at a higher rate than almost anywhere in the country. Like, that's fucking, Nevada's fucked up, man.
Yeah, it's really bad around here.
It's bad,
really bad,
man. It's so bad. And I just hope that we can see some change through some of this stuff, because it's constant, man. I got flipped off more times when I was out here for Black Lives Matter last weekend than I got any support, for sure.
Oh yeah,
fucking
for sure, absolutely.
Sure.
And the hard part is for me, is like for like in, you know what I mean, from standing out here and protesting or whatever, is the hard part for me is going to be not like escalating. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm the type of person that, you know what I mean, wants to be like, well, fuck you too. You know what I'm saying? But I know that that's not the time and place, you know, so it's hard for me to not just instantly stand up like, well, what the fuck are you going to do about it? But, you know what I mean? It's not the time and place, so you just got to keep fucking...
They're going to do it for you. I fucking promise you. Like, the people on the other side of this issue are the instigators, man. Like, if you, it even shows it on social media. Like, yeah, we may be out here and maybe we'll get worked up, like, fuck you, but it'll be in response. You know what I mean? That's the thing. Like, are we gonna violently protest? Fuck no. But, like, we might put you in your place because you're being a dumb little bitch. Like, that's fucking fine.
Super
like,
down with that.
Just saying.
Sometimes you just need a metaphorical slap in the teeth, you know?
Fucking so real, though.
An informational slap in the face.
Yeah. I've seen some of the... I love the people that are gonna show up today because there's some really brave and fucking smart, passionate people that come out to this, and it's really exciting to see. It at least gives me hope.
That's another thing that really I find almost comical, but more sad than anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even though tragedy and comedy are usually the same thing.
Almost hand in hand, yeah.
But it's almost funny, but it's mostly sad at the intelligence level too. And you can see it flat out. It's not like. It's like I'm just like, you know what I mean? It's like you can tell when you ask them a question flat out and they don't have an answer for you, or their answer makes zero logical sense. And of course, it always seems that those people are on the wrong side.
It's so true, dude.
It's so hard to get through to people that are on the wrong side when they're unwilling to listen, and they're so stubborn and put in their ways that they won't listen to anything.
Yeah,
anyone.
It's so true. It's so true. Because more often than not, the questions that I've gotten out here protesting or out here or speaking on behalf of Black Lives Matter at all is that people are just they're just ill-informed, and they want to ask me, well, how have black people been treated unfairly, or how have they been brutalized by the cops? And I've got examples. They just don't ever want to listen to it. Like, I could sit here and tout you examples for fucking like probably an hour if you really wanted to talk about those disparities, but the problem is those people don't want to. And I've tried. One of our good friends who's a huge organizer for this stuff, Leela, you know, she brought up a really good conversation that it's hard to know how to talk to these people. It's because
especially when they always jump to violence.
That's what I mean.
And stuff. It's hard to get through to somebody that wants to instantly be like, well, fuck you. Yeah. That's their only argument to anything. They got no actual information or backing or anything. Yeah. It's all just, well, fuck you.
I would love if there was a communicative route. Like, if you could give me directions on a piece of paper and what to say and how to say it to change people's minds, just because they don't want their mind changed, but things have to change. And I just this
absolutely.
Weird vicious circle.
Well, some people don't want to change. It's hard, and like that's why I always have the comment and the idea that I think we should get a little more, like a little less federal government in our lives, a little more state government maybe, right? And then what you do is you just separate the people by their terrible beliefs. You know, you take all the racist assholes and you put them like in some random southern country. You know what I mean? Like fucking Oklahoma or wherever there's the highest amount of KKK members or whatever. You take them all.
It'll probably be fucking Nevada, bro.
If you wanna do that kind of thing, then just move to you know what I mean?
You go to the KKK state.
Yeah, and you can do that. You can have all the burning crosses you want down there you want, and then all the people that don't agree with that can move to a nice place anywhere else in the world or in the country where people get along and treat people like fucking humans. And you know what I'm saying? And you all can go hate each other somewhere else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can pick whatever hateful laws you want. Y'all can just hate each other down there wherever you want. I don't give a shit. Just stay to your fucking self. Yeah, just stay out of everyone else's lives because we're sick of dealing with you. We're just tired of it. Like,
it's funny that you kind of brought up the less federal government thing, more state government. Like, it kind of makes me want to bring up the point of what defunding the police actually means, because the media and so many people want to tell you it's like
it just means
abolishing
the police. We don't have any police no more.
Yeah, get rid of the police. Like, no.
Defund the police just means we'll never have police ever again.
Right. Like, the police obviously serve a purpose in certain situations. For a great example of this is actually, I mean, it's terrible news, but thank God they caught him. But the principal of a school out here, not too far from here, recently got arrested for child pornography. And that's the type of thing that we need police for, you know what I mean? But maybe domestic issues, domestic violence and all that type of thing, maybe we send out therapists or things like that. Like, why does it have to be police? We keep sending police into situations where we know they're not helpful, and just giving them more money.
But it's not that we don't need any police, or that you shouldn't send.
That's what I'm saying.
Or that you shouldn't send any officers out to their house. Maybe you send one officer and 2 therapists or
right,
something.
100%.
The therapist can go in first while the officer waits in the car, and if there's any gunshots or they radio in and say, hey, these people were fucking nuts, then you can send in the violent guy with the gun to deal with the violent issue.
100%.
But
they should be a bouncer. They should be like security for
saying.
someone
for
who's
somebody else that's there to actually help the problem.
Yes.
Exactly.
So back to the point too, that
instead of 4
defunding,
cops with ARs that know nothing but kick down the door and everybody get
and
on the
yell
fucking
at you,
ground.
yeah.
That's not how you solve those problems every
not.
time. You know what I mean?
And 9
Most
out of 10 times, and not that I'm saying like that it's, you know, women's issue, but sometimes, like, you know, it's always, I just think there's a better way, I guess is the point. And like, it's another great example, nurses and mental institute nurses and things like that deal with out of control people all the time. Drunk people all the time. And no one fucking dies.
Yeah, and no one
they
ever
restrain
has to
them.
die.
They fucking do whatever they have to do.
Whatever, yeah, exactly.
In a humane way.
So if instead of sending 4 officers with AR-15s that know nothing but violence and kick down the door, maybe we send 1 officer with a taser and a handgun, a little one.
Yeah.
And like a therapist and a nurse.
Yeah.
That's
100%.
trained in those things. And
100%.
you know what I mean? Maybe we can get things done like that and take people in to get the help they need in a hospital or whatever, instead of just fucking gunning them down because they didn't comply, because they probably have mental issues and they can't even understand what you're really requesting of them. Like
100%. And so that leads into what defunding the police means, because I'm not saying abolish the police. I'm saying take some of that 57%. They have 57% of Reno's budget. I'm working on getting the other ones, but Reno as an example, take 30, 40% of that, maybe more, and put it into creating these kinds of systems, or using those people, or community outreach in a way that brings the community up so they're less impoverished, so they're less likely to commit crimes and things like that.
Yeah, because when people are doing better, they're less likely to do bad things.
100%.
That's proven. Like there's no doubt about that in any way, shape, or form.
And for anyone that doesn't totally understand systematic racism, we're gonna kind of break that down real fast, because it starts almost with something that's near and dear to our heart. Like, racism was always an issue, and we have the slavery thing, but when systematic racism starts coming into play, it really almost started, in my opinion, with cannabis. When you look far enough back, the oppression of black people really started with weed.
Yeah.
And in a way that's systematic, in a way that works from the top down. Because there's obvious racism, but systematic racism is laws and institutions and things that are put in place to keep people down in some way, shape, or form.
And to make it hard
Yes.
for any group of people to succeed, to get ahead in life.
Yes, 100%. 100%. So with cannabis, they essentially, I mean, they started in the 30s by, you know, using propaganda and all those type of things. And you can find that real fast. There's like Reefer Madness and things like that, you know, that are way off base. And even the things they said on live TV back then were like, oh, if you smoke weed, the black people are gonna fuck your white daughters. Like, they said stuff like that. Like,
on TV.
fucking just crazy shit. And then we
Or
move
you'll
into
be
the
gay.
60s. Right,
Yeah.
right. Something
It'll turn you gay.
crazy.
Or, yep.
But then we
Terrible,
moved to the
terrible
60s
things.
with good old fucking prick of a bitch Nixon, who started the drug war with, and he had a lot of advisors at the time, but, you know, they started the drug war and they wrote these crazy cannabis and drug laws and all this stuff. But in 1999, one of his advisors, Nixon's, admits fully in an interview, and you can find this on the internet, it's not fucking hidden information. He
No.
admits fully that they wrote cannabis, heroin, drug laws in general into the law in a way to where they could oppress and disrupt black communities and communities of color in order to, you know, arrest them and all sorts of things. So you have laws written in right there at that level, and that's just fucking racist as fuck. But then we start talking about things like redlining for banks. You know about that?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, where it's just they literally drew city lines and they pretty much outlined black neighborhoods, and if you lived in that neighborhood and you went to try to get a loan, you either get the crazy high interest rate or they won't give you a loan at all because of where you live.
Right.
And that's fucking obvious racism itself. So just those two examples are a very easy breakdown of what systematic racism is. It's not being racist, it's not about, you know, this or that. It's the fact that our system the system from the top
Itself.
down is broken, is fucked up, and needs to be reformed. Police academies need to change, but so does our laws and our systems.
Absolutely.
100%.
From everything.
Yeah, I mean, we really need to rework our whole way of life.
And that's exactly why we're sitting out here in front of the Capitol.
Fucking facts, guys.
Raise as much awareness as possible and get as much change as possible. I mean, it needs to be done now.
Yeah, it's there's no more time. There's no more like not doing this. There's no more, white
Letting it
people
slide.
being silent.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like we have to all demand change. And God, here's one of the things that pisses me off about these All Lives Matter people is if you say all lives matter, then Black lives don't matter. So all lives don't matter. Let's get that fucking spelled out right now. But by doing that, you're just perpetuating the lost it again. Don't know where I was headed. Sorry, I keep losing it. Fuck. What were we talking about?
Systematic racism and the laws and
Lost it.
yeah.
So lost it. Fucking.
How much time are we at?
Yeah, that's a good question.
You guys are at 27.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
So we'll start wrapping up.
Yeah, we'll just start wrapping it up.
Is this gonna be the first one?
Yeah.
That's weird. I forgot to bring a joint or something.
I mean, I've got my terp pen and some dabs. So, anyway.
Anyways,
What was the last thing you said though? This is killing.
this is why we're out here and trying to bring awareness and focus to this issue and
Okay, well,
as
then
much
we'll
change as
fucking
possible.
Cut from there. So yeah, we just want to be out here every weekend, and I hope everyone shares and supports this as much as possible. This video especially, I think, means a lot to both me and Nick, and we really want people to understand the issues and where we stand, and we're fucking definitely not afraid about where we stand either. So if you don't want to listen anymore, or you don't want to support this, then that's fine. Fuck off. We don't need a racist piece of shit watching our stuff. Like, to be 100% honest.
Yeah, I'm okay with not being supported by you if you don't support.
I don't need money or views that bad. Promise you that.
Yeah.
Like, fuck all that shit. But guys, we'll be out here every weekend. We're gonna be doing a lot more videos like this. We're gonna be trying to do some more personal videos, get some more of our kind of daily life type of things out there every so often.
Yeah, for sure.
But we hope to be an outlet for you. So if you have any questions about what's going on in Nevada or things about this, if you have any questions about qualified immunity and those type of things,
Or
please.
if you have any questions on how you can get involved with us
Yeah,
out
yeah,
here
please,
to protest
Just
and show you
hit us
support,
up on a social media platform.
any one of them.
Yeah, and we'd be happy to not only help but get you out here, and we'll all hang out, man. We want to get as many people down here and talk to as many people as possible. So, yeah,
Absolutely.
catch us out here on Saturdays. This episode's going to be airing Thursday on WeedTube, Friday on YouTube.
On
So,
everything else.
yeah. See you guys then. Thanks for joining us this weekend. All funk, no bunk.
Deuces.
Yeah, man.
Without a doubt.